6 to 9. You're about to have a really good time, and it's sure to make you smile. On the bus, in the car, on the AirPods without wires. Rank it up on the worksite, it's the Bad and Liam podcast. Bad and Liam podcast.
Well, g'day there, podcaster. I hope you're doing well. This is a fun episode. We open up the Forbidden Folder. Normally we do that on a Tuesday, but we were having our long weekend like most of the rest of the country.
Yep.
So we thought, hey, I don't think we're ready for it to start on what essentially was our Monday on a Tuesday, so everything's moved forward a little bit.
Also, when we come back from the regular Podland, there's something I want to bring up.
Okay.
Ben, I saw not one, not two, but 3 celebs over the weekend. Hot celebs.
Yeah, I was in Melbourne, the city of the celebs, for a quick getaway.
I feel like Sydney's more city of the celebs.
Well, the celeb count in Melbourne was pretty high over the weekend, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, you're probably right. Celebs everywhere, as far as the eye could see. I saw a singer, I saw a sports star, and I saw a Hollywood star.
Wow, a bit of a trio.
I know.
Are they all together?
No, all in separate locations at separate times. What do you want to hear about first?
Well, I guess go with the big one. Go with the Hollywood A-lister.
Okay, well, get this. I saw Jeffrey Rush at the train station.
What's he in?
The guy who played Captain Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And, lots of stuff.
He's not Australian, is he?
He's Australian. He lives in
Oh,
Melbourne.
that takes a bit of the shine off.
Okay, well, when was the last time you saw someone from Pirates of the Caribbean?
So, what was he doing?
No, he was just walking around. He had a big scarf on, like it was pretty cold.
And a pirate hat?
No, I don't think he gets around that. Yeah, I support Johnny. No, he was just walking around doing his thing. I didn't stop for a chat.
Okay.
Do you want to hear about the singer next?
Yeah, singer.
I saw 2003 Australian Idol contestant Paulini at the DFO. Hot celebs.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Just because you're the songstress of our generation doesn't mean you're above a cheap Puma bargain.
Wasn't Paulini here at the start of the year with... Was it Timmy Trumpet? No, it wasn't Timmy Trumpet. It was someone of that caliber, and they were doing a fringe show.
It was O-Matic.
Matic,
Yes,
yeah,
I
Timmy
believe he goes as Timo Margie now.
Really?
But yes, no, she was with O-Matic. Yeah,
The Tim-O-Matic goes to Tim-O-Margie.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's trying to shed the O-Matic. But I think once you're O-Matic, it's hard to drop.
I wouldn't say Tim-O-Margie's any better.
Yeah, well, that's his actual birth name. That's
His birth name's Tim-O-Margie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't Timo-Matic, was it? He obviously gave himself that
It was
nickname.
a stage name.
Anyway, I think we're getting off topic. I didn't see Timo-Matic, and to be honest, I'm not really happy with the reactions I've been getting so far from some of the hot celebs I've seen. Anyway, but I thought, hey, look, I've had my fill. I've seen 2 big celebs.
Yep.
I didn't stop for a photo, but, I was very excited. And I thought, surely my luck's run out. But no. On the plane, on the way home, I was sat next to a celebrity. Is
Is this the athlete?
This is the athlete, a really tall fella. Now, I'm not great with AFL, but I knew I'd seen the face before. I couldn't quite place him, but I was like, I know this guy's famous.
I feel like I could almost have an educated guess at this.
Okay, so someone coming, an AFL player coming from Melbourne to Adelaide.
A tall AFL player. I feel like you only know one. Dean Brogan.
Wasn't Dean Brogan? Wasn't Dean Brogan?
Dean
No,
Brogan.
but would have played with Brogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to work out who this guy was. It's kind of hard to Google tall AFL man because there is a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I saw the name on the ticket. Burgoyne Sean. Hot celebs. 300 career games.
That's
Sean Burgoyne.
That's a really good one. You sat next to Sean
I
Burgoyne?
genuinely sat next to Sean Burgoyne on the plane home.
Well, he was in economy.
Yeah, and interesting, we were both handpicked for the emergency row too. So obviously at a glance, the biggest alpha males available, willing and able to assist in the event of an emergency was Sean Burgoyne and me.
Did you have a chat with him?
No.
You didn't say anything at all?
This other guy actually walked up, he was pretending to go to the toilet and walked
Yeah.
past and was like, what did you think of that game on the weekend? And, and Sean Burgoyne was listening to some music and he took his thing out and said, what? And the guy said, even quieter. What did you think of that game on the weekend? And Sean Berger went and said, what game?
Hey Liam, have you checked out whatif.com's top 10 winter weekenders yet?
Of course. How good's a what if tip?
You got Fraser Coast in there, Coral Coast, Bruny Island, Orange.
Book your winter getaway on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Ben, have you got your key around your neck there?
Always do. Ready?
All right, yep, here we go. Turn them at the same time. Open up the forbidden folder. This is where all the ideas are kept that have been poo-pooed in the past. Said, no, absolutely not, Ben Liam, you're not doing that.
Well, they're things that, you might want to ask, but they could also be perceived as taboo, perhaps, and that you shouldn't be talking about it on the radio.
We've talked to people who've been in prison. We've spoken to people who've joined the Mile High Club. And this morning, 13-24-10, we'd like to know, do you have a rare condition? Obviously, talking about medical things is a bit taboo. Obviously, that's quite personal for some people.
Yep.
But if you feel like you would like to share and maybe shed some light on what you're living with, I'm sure we'd be fascinated. We might all learn a thing or two about it as well.
I think it could be quite educational if you're willing to share.
There is some things out there, like you hear about rare conditions and you're just like...
Yeah.
Just like, I've never even heard of that. I didn't even know that was a real thing.
If you have got one and you'd like to talk about it, please, 13-24-10, give us a buzz. That is our number.
I've already got a call from Elizabeth. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Elizabeth, you have a rare condition.
I do. I have Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which actually is in the news a lot at the moment.
Yes.
Because it's the syndrome that Justin Bieber
Yes,
has.
Of course.
The way I understood it, I didn't sort of read into this too much, but Justin Bieber's, half of his face is a bit droopy at the moment. Almost it looks like he's recovering from a stroke. But the way I understand it, it's only like a temporary thing. Is that right, Elizabeth?
Oh, no, this guy's is a really serious condition.
Right.
It's a really serious neurological condition, and it's often misdiagnosed as Bell's palsy, which is seen as a slight drooping in the face, which can be really quite serious as well because not everyone recovers.
So have you always had it, Elizabeth, or did you only get it a couple of years ago? How long have you had it for?
No, Ramsay-Hunt syndrome is what's called an acquired syndrome.
Right.
And I got it in January 2015. It's caused by shingles, which is a reactivation of the chickenpox virus that so many of us carry.
Yeah.
You guys sound young, so hopefully you got, as kids, the chickenpox vaccine.
Yeah.
But those of us who are older, like myself, having had chickenpox as a child, the varicella virus can be reactivated, appears as shingles. And for those of us, which is literally bad luck, it travels to the inner ear.
Yeah.
And shingles has got nowhere to go. So it goes up the cranial nerve and down the cranial nerve, causing facial paralysis. It's not just a slight drooping. My face was 95% paralysed. I couldn't close my eyes. And it crushed my auditory nerve, leaving me permanently deaf.
Oh, geez, Elizabeth, that's horrible. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how are you doing at the moment? Because your speech sounds very good. Do you still have the slight sort of paralysis in the face?
Yeah, I've never recovered fully. I thank you for saying I sound good. I worked really hard at it. It's been a very long 7 years, and there's still ongoing consequences.
Yeah.
I suffer from, and those symptoms and daily consequences are both physical, psychological, and social.
Yeah, of course.
So if you can imagine not being able to smile, that's our whole loss of self. That's how we communicate with people.
Yeah.
And with the hearing loss, I get constant dizziness, balance problems, starts to vertigo. My eye doesn't close properly. I have to have a weight put into my eye to try and help it close. So
it's great, Elizabeth, because with obviously this is, like you said, it's been in the news last week or so because Justin Bieber getting it, but he was kind of like downplaying it and making it seem like it's it's just going to be there for a week and then going to go away. But it seems like it's much more severe than that.
Oh, very severe. I don't know if he downplayed it because quite impressed. He came out openly and said, this is a really serious condition.
Yeah.
I think the poor guy, he is not completely aware of the long road he could be in for.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
well, thank you so much for shedding some light on Ramsay Hunt this morning, Elizabeth. Piper joins us now. You have a rare condition.
Yeah,
And how old are you, Piper?
I'm 12.
You're 12. Okay, and what's the condition?
It's EOE or eosophagitis, something like that.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I was going to say that's a big name. It seems like mum and dad and maybe doctors around you have spoken about it, but it's kind of hard to get out of your mouth.
And what is it, Piper?
It's a disorder where a large number of white blood cells called the eosinophils are present in the esophagus. The esophagus is the tube that carries the food from the mouth to the stomach.
Yes.
So food will get stuck in my throat a bit sometimes.
Oh, so you find it hard to swallow food?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, and so, like, how do you just eat like everyone else, or is there something that you have to do to sort of help it get down, or?
I eat pretty much like everyone else, but if food does get stuck, soft drinks actually help.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, it's just so you quite often got just a sneaky can on you just to help it sort of get down.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nice
That's an
one,
interesting
Piper.
one,
Thanks for
Piper.
sharing.
I must admit, I've never ever heard of that one before.
No.
Thank you for your call. 13 24 10. If you've got a rare condition, you can call through. Nikki joins us now. What do you have, Nikki?
Hey guys, I can really relate to Piper there, I have to say, because I might not get this out, but I have a sleep disorder called narcolepsy. I'm sounding really shaky because I've just had a lot of coffee to be awake this early because I have narcolepsy, the sleep disorder.
This is fascinating. So I've heard about narcolepsy before. So you'll just randomly fall asleep at any time of the day. Is that right?
Look, if you gave me $1 for every time I've heard that, I could afford my medication.
Oh, really?
But yeah, well, actually, no, I probably couldn't. It's still really expensive. So no, not quite. So actually, I do fall asleep in weird places sometimes.
So, like, how often is it happening all the time? Forgive my naivety on this, but like, is it 10 times a day? Is it once a day? Is it once a week?
That's okay. No, it's all good. So, it is a bit of a myth that people just sort of fall asleep all the time. What it actually is we're chronically sleep deprived when we have narcolepsy. And there's another. This is where I was relating to. I think it was Piper, the last caller.
Yeah.
On the odd pronunciation. It's so hard sometimes with these stupid scientific names. Idiopathic hypersomnia is the other sleep disorder that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention because it doesn't get enough. It doesn't get named enough. So anyone out there, shout out to anyone with idiopathic hypersomnia.
Yeah.
So it's really similar to narcolepsy. And so what it means is our brains just don't really get effective sleep. So I look like I'm asleep and it might be a bit disrupted. You might see I talk in my sleep. I get sleep hallucinations and sleep paralysis. But I just don't get effective sleep. My brain actually wakes up basically every 2 minutes.
Oh my God!
Is what was shown.
Right.
Yeah,
you're obviously
kind of like torture. Yeah,
I'd imagine you're always feeling drained if you never quite get that rest that you need. Obviously, is the opposite sort of. You know, if you're an insomniac, you just sort of don't sleep at all. Is that something completely different? Like,
again, it's actually there's so much that's just not known about this that commonly because I mean. Look, we're chronically sleepy people. We're not very good at getting out there and telling people about what we have. I mean, people are doing an amazing job. Not to say they're not, but you know, most of us are in bed. So, it's actually you can have narcolepsy with insomnia. So the issue is because you're not really getting effective sleep. Some people they might have a lot of trouble getting to sleep.
Yeah.
For me, I've been really fortunate that for now at least. Or sort of fortunate, you know, I've been able to afford a medication that's a sedative that does give me some restful sleep. So I get like maybe, 2 to 4 hours restful sleep at night.
Yeah.
But that's that incredibly expensive medication that I was talking about. Otherwise, we don't just fall asleep in random places. There is part of the condition is cataplexy, and I think this is where that misconception comes from. It's how do they describe it? It's a loss of muscle function. And I always think of it like, oh God, my sister's going to love that I'm saying this when she hears this later, because I'm going to go find this on the podcast.
Yeah.
I always think, you know the fainting goats?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Right.
But it's not like that, technically. So,
I prefer you explaining it to us
the
like
best
that
analogy.
than a doctor trying to go, no, it's like this.
So, Nikki, you mentioned the super expensive medication there and stuff like that. Like, is there a cure for narcolepsy?
there is no cure for narcolepsy. There's been one occasion where someone had a brain tumour that I know of, and then they removed the brain tumour and they didn't have narcolepsy anymore.
Right.
So I'm not counting on that, and I don't think anyone else is. This medication, Xyrem, this is sort of the best practice thing around the world, and unfortunately it's just not available affordably in Australia because it hasn't been accepted onto the PBS by the Therapeutic Goods Administration. But it's so that is the sort of best practice. But like I said, people with narcolepsy, it's really hard. If you have a different kind of illness, I mean, everything with a disability is so hard, but different illnesses, you might be more suited perhaps to advocacy.
Yeah. Well, good on you, Nikki, for coming on this morning and shedding some light on narcolepsy, because
Happy to share it.
I had no idea. I thought it was just you were falling asleep at random
Literally,
spots.
how sometimes I've dozed off on a bus before. And I thought that was just common practice, but I didn't quite realise that the brain's active every 2 minutes whilst you're actually trying to sleep.
It's Ben and Liam.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Good morning, Nicole in Wingfield. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Wingfield, famous for the dump. Can you smell it from where you are?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh,
we live
no.
in the parents' house. So.
Oh, okay. Does Wingfield get a bad rap as, the place where the dump is, or is it a good suburb?
Actually, it's surprisingly quiet.
That's good.
Yeah. That's probably because of the dump.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe.
That's true.
You just got a lot of ibis hanging around.
Yeah, it's quiet besides all the garbage trucks driving down your street.
Because I have that thing where I'm on the expressway when you're getting near the Wingfield tip, how you make sure you get your settings right in your aircon so it doesn't let the airflow coming through. Otherwise, you get a full fist of it.
You know what? I drive through it all the time. You know what the stinkiest suburb in all of Adelaide is?
What?
Burton. Burton really stinks.
Because of the water? Or?
I think it's because it's where the septic ends up.
Oh, right.
And so when you're driving through it, it always
My grandparents
stinks.
live in Burton. I've never found it. I don't have the best sense of smell, but there you go. Nicole, it's not just bad in Wingfield. Well,
thank God.
Here we go. Let's kick into the quiz. Russell Ebert has become South Australia's fourth player elevated to legend status, as if he hasn't already. Which SA AFL team did he play for?
Port.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Internet Explorer will be retired this week. Can you name one other web browser?
Wait, what was the question?
So they're getting rid of Internet Explorer. What's another browser you could use?
On the
Chrome?
Yeah, you could use Google Chrome for sure.
Safari, Firefox, or Edge is the new one. It's actually replacing it.
Heads up, SA could be hit with rolling power outages amid an energy crisis. South Australia is known as the what state, Nicole?
It's on the license plates if you're near a car right now.
The something state.
It's on all the number plates.
Oh, bloody hell.
Don't know?
The festival state.
There you go. Did you see it on a number plate, or did you just remember it?
No, just the
came
coffee
to you.
kicked in and occurred to me,
Just had a bit of a buffer time on that one. Okay, well, musician Halsey has compared Adam Sandler's daughter's wild bar mitzvah to Coachella. Can you name one Adam Sandler movie?
Grown Up.
Yeah. I would have said Click if someone were to push me and ask straight away. What about you, Ben? What's your go-to Sandler?
I think Longest Yard, underrated in the Sandler world.
Yep. I think The Cobbler, very underrated.
Yes.
I'm obviously joking. That was a bad movie. Anyway, last one. Lady Gaga could be starring in the Joker sequel, which is a bit weird. Can you finish these Lady Gaga lyrics?
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Let's have some fun. This beat is sick.
Oh, I don't know. You got to write.
Yes,
No.
no, it's not on the license plate this time. Sorry, Nicole, you did so well.
You did so well, I know.
Emily joins us now from Happy Valley. Can you finish these lyrics?
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick.
I want to take a ride on your disco stick.
I want to take a ride on your disco stick.
Hey, good
Excuse
song.
me, Emily, that was a bit rude.
Oh, wow.
No, yeah, well, no, hey, you said it.
Like it's 6:13.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, well, you get to go along to the footy this weekend, Port vs Sydney Swans, which is great. Also, you're going to get to be able to pick the next song we play. So would you like to hear my song this morning?
There will be no white flag above my door.
Which can I say? I know, like, you know, it's my song versus Liam's song, but that is a great song, and it's gone on almost like 2 weeks now.
I would say almost too long.
I feel like Liam is now waving the white flag.
A little bit. And it's just like, you know, I know it's slow pace,
Yeah.
but Dido's Dido.
Yeah, it needs to be picked, but it also has to be a bit of Jimmy Eat World.
So what are you thinking, Em?
Oh, I'm thinking a bit of Dido.
Oh! All right, here it is, Dido,
Sorry.
White Flag on Nova 919. That's all right. It is an amazing song. You watch that potty mouth, Em?
Okay.
There will be no white flag above my door. I'm in love, and always will be.
Leah Pod Mencast. Wait, I said that wrong. Ben and Liam Podcast.
Caught up with some mates over the weekend, Liam. They got married a little while ago, and pretty exciting because they just got their wedding photos back.
Did you? I mean, you also got married recently. Have you got yours back yet?
Yep, got them back last week.
Did they trick you into buying an album?
Yep. That's the crazy thing. Like, weddings obviously super duper expensive.
Yeah.
And then when it's finally all done and you've paid for it all, there's that sense of relief, and you go, oh, it's all paid for. And then you got to buy the album.
They go, ooh, would you like the string on the album? That's another
leather bound.
Ooh. Well, you know, there is such a thing as house fires, and we normally get rid of these photos after, so you could get the platinum wedding insurance on top of the...
You can buy the metal container that you put the album in.
For a small fee of $35.99 a month for the rest of your life.
So we were super excited when our friends told us they got their photos back, but you could tell that they weren't over the moon with them. And we said, well, what's the matter? And they said, well, we look ridiculous.
Yeah, that always sucks when you hear people, like, they're obviously, like, really excited to get them back.
Yep.
It's their big day, and, you know, you do hear that sometimes, don't you, when they're, like, people aren't quite happy. It's not how they pictured them, maybe.
Yeah, and then normally when you see them, people judge themselves harsher than other people.
Yeah,
will,
so
you know what I mean?
if you saw them, you go,
Yeah.
oh, no, they look good.
really
They're not
nice.
that bad. Yeah.
So we thought they were judging them a little bit too harshly, but it turns out that, like, they were. So there was a couple in particular, okay, and it wasn't so much like them, it was more what the photographer was making them do that made the photos so funny.
Because, yeah, I have been in bridal parties before. Not yours, may I add.
Yep.
Didn't get the call up. But, yeah, it is funny how they're like, hey, why don't we mix it up and we get, like, you know, one of the groomsmen with the bride. Like, wouldn't that be funny? And
So
you kind of going like, what? Like, what are these instructions?
There was a couple of photos that really got me. One of them was, so the photographer was like, okay, now, like, stand together like you're about to kiss. So you're standing front on.
Yeah.
And then she said, take one really big step back each. So they both took a big step back. And then she said, okay, now, like, hinge at the hips and, like, lean in as far as you can, like you're about to kiss.
Yeah.
And then look at me.
I can't imagine that looking good.
And then the reason that this is such a funny photo is because the bride, she said in the moment she decided, nah, I don't want to do that. So the photo is her standing straight looking at the camera, and the groom is
bending
fully
right
bent
over.
and looking at the camera.
Going, hey.
So that one's very funny. And then the other one I found funny was they were like, oh, so the photographer said, like, oh, I need you to, like, go far away and then run at the camera.
Hang on, like in heels and like a wedding dress?
With everything on.
Just sprint
So
full
they were
pelt.
kind of like, oh, okay, they didn't really want to do it, but they did it. And so they were kind of like just like running. And Sheik was going, no, faster. Like, you've got to, you've got to run.
Sprint! We want you sweaty by the time you get back to that reception.
But then I can empathise as well because, like we said, we got our photos back last week. And I remember on the day, the photographers, who I loved, by the way, they were amazing on the day, and the photos turned out super special. But there was one thing they were making us do, where it was me and my brother, who was my best man, and we were like walking down the street with a beer, and they were like, just push each other around a bit. Just push him around.
You know, smash that bottle. Yeah, like brothers, have a bit of a fight. Take
Yeah.
your jacket off. Get stuck into each other.
What did the wedding photographer make you do? It was your big day. I'd love to know the situation they put you in, because they come up with all sorts of zany ideas.
Yeah.
13 24 10 is our number. If you've got a story you'd like to share, what did the wedding photographer make you do?
Josh, is this your wedding? What do they make you do?
It wasn't my wedding, but I was the best man, and it was out in McLaren Vale. And the photographer said to the groom, "Hey, just jump up on this fence post." And he ripped the whole backside out of his custom Italian wool suit.
Oh no! Would have made a great photo though.
Yeah, just the horrific.
Yeah, capturing that moment.
Was the bride around at the point?
Yeah.
That point, or did he quickly get some, sort of new?
Yeah, what did he do?
He had to wear his jacket around his waist for the rest of the
Oh,
night.
that's not a good look, is it?
Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, it's almost on the photographer, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kayla, what do they make you do?
It was my friend's wedding, and she got the groom and the groomsmen to straight arm a beer right before the reception.
What?
So all like the
Wow.
Yeah. A straight arm is where you've got the drink and you lock your arm out in front of you.
And then just tip it.
And then just tip it from
And
there.
obviously, most of that's going
Yeah.
over your face and
Yeah.
dress rather than in your actual mouth.
I guess it would have made like a slightly amusing photo for one moment, but then the rest,
Yeah, but
then
surely
you
you're just
saturated.
going like, no, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're dressed to the nines and like this is your important
Yeah.
day, if someone's like, do a shoey,
Yeah.
I'd just go, no,
No.
I don't want to do that. Nah, do it. It'll be funny.
Catherine, good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Ben and Liam. This is my sister's wedding. She's a little bit older than me, so she got married a few years ago. It was around the time when, remember that Toyota ad where everyone would jump up and it was cool to take
what a feeling.
Toyota, yeah.
Yeah, so the photographer just like made them keep on jumping, and they were just jumping so much that she ended up like jumping so high that her heel landed in like really muddy sort of like soft grass, and she ended up like buckling her knee before the reception.
Oh, what a feeling.
I think it's
ACL.
I think it's she was jumping so much her head hit the ceiling.
And he's like, now that's going to sell some Toyotas. Yeah, sounds like that guy was also just working for Toyota maybe. Had his Hilux in the background.
Anita joins us now. Good morning. What did the wedding photographer make you do?
Good morning. My photographer didn't have any clue that I was 7.5 months pregnant, because I had one of those really big flowing dresses.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do like an aerial shot, but with us lying down. So I think it was like almost 40-degree heat. We were lying down. It was very difficult to get down and up.
Yeah.
But beautiful photo.
Oh, so it was
but,
good?
Yeah. Yeah, it all came out really good.
I'd have my doubts about an aerial photo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, when you said you were pregnant, I was for sure thinking he was going to go, why don't we do one where you're smoking a cigarette and having a glass of wine to celebrate?
Yes, what a funny story.
Timeline time when producer Mel comes in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gives us 5 events, and then it's up to Ben and I to decide when those things happened in history. What's the first thing, Belle?
All right, up first today. What year was this song released?
Well, I mean, are you asking when John Deacon, the bassist from Queen, originally came up with the sample for the David Bowie Queen song, or when Vanilla Ice jumped on it and dropped his verse?
When Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice was released. Liam, you can go first.
All right, well, it's going back. I mean, I reckon like 91.
Nah, it's got to be way later than 91, because 91 was kind of like when actual hip-hop started kind of becoming bigger. So that was obviously just trying to like cash in on what hip-hop was. So I reckon it would have been more like maybe 97, but I want to say more like 2001.
Or did he take the lead? It was 1990. So
What?
He was,
There you go.
1990.
Yeah, I'm going to let you finish, but Vanilla Ice is the coolest rapper that ever lived.
What?
Yeah. All right, that's one to Liam. Okay, next up on the list, a local one. What year did the Glenelg tram line open? Ben, you can go first.
Glenelg tram line. Well, there's probably one there back in the day. Are we talking about that or the modern one?
We're talking about when the tram line was extended to all the way to Glenelg, so it went Glenelg to the city.
It's wild that it didn't always go that way because it's already pretty short. It's already like not a big distance.
I feel like it would have been... The tram scene's pretty modern though, doesn't it? But I feel like it would have had a tram a long time ago. I've got absolutely no idea. 2001.
I think it was a bit earlier than that. I reckon... I reckon 1987.
Okay, 1929.
Okay,
So,
well,
That's what I was
I
saying.
give that to you.
That's what I was saying. It feels like it's been around for ages, but then you said when it got extended in there. I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So it's a
that's
good 100
totally
years
it.
ago.
Yeah, okay.
Not in the thousands. Ben.
Okay.
All right, a sport one for you. What year did Leighton Hewitt become number one?
It's on. The man of the year is Leighton Hewitt.
All right, Liam, you can have a shot at this one first.
Oh, Leighton. I mean, I'm just trying to think of when I was, on school excursions around West Lakes, pointing out his house, going, "Oh, is that where Leighton lives?" And that was, early 2000s, and he'd been the best for years. I mean, he won really early, didn't he? So I reckon around the same sort of time as Vanilla Ice in the 90s, baby. I reckon it was, say 98.
98. Ben, what do you think?
Look, I've said it twice now. I'll say it a third time. 2001.
Well, you've saved yourself there, Ben. 2001.
It actually was.
Right on the nose.
All right, so that's 1 to Ben, 2 to Liam. Okay. What year did Reese Witherspoon win the Academy Award for Walk the Line?
And the Oscar goes to Reese Witherspoon. Walk the line.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, Johnny Cash movie, Joaquin Phoenix.
Ben.
I've never seen that.
Okay, well, you can go first. What year do you
Oh,
think?
well, no. Let Liam go first.
Okay, fine.
Oh, that movie came out in, I reckon, 2007.
Okay.
Is it a good movie?
I don't think you'd like it.
Okay.
I didn't mind it, but it's not up your alley.
Would you say 2007, 2006?
It was 2006,
Oh, you
Ben,
bloody-
again.
See, that's the worst bit about this game. You know what I mean? Like,
That means it all comes down to this.
All right. Let's do first to buzz in
Okay.
and get this correct, although I don't know if you will know. What year did MSN Messenger launch?
Ooh. It's one of those things where I was definitely using it in 2001, I reckon.
stop
But-
saying 2001 and everything.
I
I'm not
reckon.
going to make them all with the same answer.
I reckon it's one of those things that's been around for longer than you realise. But I'm going to say...
Liam, 2002.
Okay, fine. I'll say 2001.
Of course you will. It's 99. So
I'm just saying 2001 every time next time.
no.
Oh, God. Well played.
Thank you, sir.
Blanc, blanc.
Good morning, Adelaide. Do you remember Squid Game? Well, teaser trailers dropped for season 2. That's not the only Squid Game news, though. This is a new one. Apparently, Netflix is developing a reality show based on Squid Game, which is, of course, a game where people are murdered. They butcher each other until there's one last person.
That's just going to be a flop because no one's actually going to get murdered on the show. Like, that would be entertaining if, obviously people can't die.
Yeah.
But that's the whole appeal of Squid Game.
Imagine how wild it would be if, no, people die in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
What if they
no, this is a genuine Korean reality show where people die. And
Well, they could get people on death row.
I don't think Netflix would go for that.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to do it properly.
I think they are doing the right thing, just for the record.
Yep, but the ratings will be a flop.
Yeah, I don't think it will go well, but I think they're doing right by humanity. That's probably the best way to put it. I was at the doctor yesterday, Ben. Was just in the waiting room there. They call out everyone's names, and you're sort of eagerly waiting, twiddling your thumbs.
Usually half an hour late, the doctors.
Yeah, I feel like you stress so much if you're late to an appointment, but why is the onus on us? And then you get there and the doctors, they're having a great time. Especially, obviously they work very hard, but also I feel like the whole phone consult thing has made it easier to be like, I'm having a bit of a longer lunch. Because sometimes when you're there, you're like, come on, that door hasn't opened. I've been here for 40 minutes.
I don't think I've ever gotten to the doctors and they've been on time.
Been like, oh, bloody right on time. Yeah. It's always a late day, isn't it?
And if that's the case, like, surely there needs like to be reform where they, rather than booking a 15-minute consult or a half an hour, if you know it takes an hour, just give yourself an hour for that consult. So then you get to the next one on time.
A lot of angry doctors listening to this morning.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a good point. It would be nice just one time.
Yeah.
For you've had a mutually agreed. It was an online booking.
Yeah.
You've got it on your screen. I've got it on my
4:30,
screen.
I sit down and they go, Ben, you go, great.
Well, there you go. Right on time. Right on time. But I was sitting down there and the doctor came out and said, immaculate. I thought, well, thank you, because I am very well dressed. But no, there was a woman next to me called Immaculate. Immaculate?
Never met
She
an Immaculate.
Stood up and was like, yeah, that's me. My name's Immaculate, obviously. So I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I don't know where that like comes from. I mean, it's just a word, right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think it's a name. It's a cool name to have.
Well, that's really what names are, aren't they? They're just words.
They're just words. So yeah, you can call your kid Immaculate if you want.
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning, 13, 24, 10. Have you never met someone with the same name? So if you are an Immaculate listening this morning, call through. We have had that one though. Now there's someone who's called through. I don't know what the name is. What's your name?
Conan.
Sorry?
Like Conan, like the barbarian.
Conan.
Oh,
yeah.
O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't go that one, but...
You don't like Conan O'Brien?
Nah, not a big fan.
I mean,
that's why you chose the barbarian instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Swords in the car.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. No, I can see why you've never met another Conan. I like, where, and what did your parents name you after? Obviously not O'Brien.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue, actually.
It is pretty. It's not crazy because we know straight away. There's two exampple of other people with
So
that name.
you
but,
know it is a name.
Yeah, but you've never met another Conan, and neither have I, to be fair.
Oh, a dog.
Yeah, okay. To be honest, it's even a bit of a strange name for a dog.
For a dog,
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty good, Conan. I don't mind that as the first one.
Yeah, thanks. First cab off the rank.
Got a call here from Gemma. Good morning, Gemma.
Morning, guys.
Now, look, Gemma, I wouldn't say that's a very unique name. I've met a few Gemmas, but this is your niece.
Yes, my niece's name. So it's Zaraya.
Zaraya.
Oh, my God, that's so
Yeah.
similar to Zendaya.
Yeah.
Very cool name to have at the moment.
Where's that from? Do you know? Like, is there a reason for it?
Not really. My sister wanted something with Z, and she's also got a son, Zane.
Yeah, right. It
okay.
sounds a little bit like Space Queen sort of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Zaraya?
yeah.
Sounds like something from a science fiction book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, Gemma.
I don't
Thanks for
mind
that.
it at all.
We are now joined by Mr. Anonymous. Do you have a unique name?
Hey mate, how you going? My name's Marinko.
Marinko. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? And so, what's the origins of Marinko? Like, why'd you call it?
My old man's Croatian.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, is it a popular Croatian name?
I don't think it's heaps popular, but yeah, it's there. It's a name from there. So.
I like it. It sounds like a dance move.
Marinko
Do the
sounds
Marinko,
good.
like flamingo.
Yeah, and merengue.
Yes.
Combined.
Yeah.
That's it. Because, I suppose if it's not common in Croatia, then it's really not common here.
Yeah.
But no, that's probably the coolest we've had, Marinka.
P to the O to the D to the cast.
Tell us what's trending.
Trending all over the internet.
Twitter. Instagram.
Welcome to Facebook.
Hey guys, well yesterday it was a victorious day as the Socceroos got into the World Cup.
It's all on this for Peru. Alex Valera. And Redmayne makes the save. It's a save.
Ben's fiancée Sam was excited because she thought we'd won the World Cup yesterday.
Yeah, I got home and she's like, we won the World Cup. I was like, no.
I don't blame her. When I was looking at stuff yesterday, I only knew what was going on because you guys were watching it. We
Yeah,
were
it was
across
huge.
it. But if I was just at home watching that, I would have thought, oh yeah, we won.
But doesn't that puts in perspective, though, how big a deal it is that this is how big the celebration is and we just got into it. We didn't even win it.
And that's the thing. Beating a South American team isn't easy. We were definitely the underdogs and we made it kind of tricky for ourselves throughout the qualification process. But now the addition to the story, Bell, is that the Peruvians think we have cheated here in Australia because Andrew Redmayne, he plays in the A-League. He's the big goalkeeper. He's been affectionately known as the grey wiggle now because he was moving around so much on the line when the penalties were being taken to throw off the opposition. Well,
some eagle-eyed viewers have sort of pointed out what happened in the penalty shootout. So the Peruvian goalkeeper, he had some notes on his drink bottle, much like a cheat sheet. You know, you might write some answers on the back of your ruler.
So basically, there'd be like certain players taking penalty kicks where most of the time they go left.
Well, yeah, the Peruvian coaching team had watched a few Adelaide United games. They knew where Craig Goodwin was going to put the ball. He always puts it to the left or whatever. So he had that cheat sheet. And when Redmayne was walking past, he just grabbed his drink bottle and launched it into the crowd. There you go. You work out where they're kicking now, mate.
My question is, though, are they allowed to have that? Like, is that okay?
Yeah, no, it's pretty common practice. It's common practice for penalties.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Because they're not actually, by having the names on drink bottles, they're not cheating.
Then
They're doing their
mean
research.
of him to throw it away?
Yeah, it's a little,
It's cheeky.
It's a little bit cheeky.
Because I would also have no doubt that he would also have it written on his drink bottle properly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he's bigger and scarier, and the Peruvian goalkeeper probably didn't want to get near his drink bottle.
And in some sad news, say goodbye to Internet Explorer. It is June 15 today, and so this will be our time tomorrow, June 15 in the States. It is going to be completely, as they're saying, retired or, killed off. It actually had launched in 1995. It's had a good run. It's now being replaced by Edge, which I don't know what the difference is.
Hang on,
good
wasn't it replaced by Google Chrome 10 years ago?
Not according to Windows.
It's being doubly replaced.
No, Google. Yeah, well, Google Chrome is owned by Google, and then Edge is what? That's Microsoft now.
Yes, that's Microsoft,
It's just not
and then
cool.
you've got Safari and all the rest from Apple. But
or my personal favourite, Firefox.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Firefox supposed to be like more powerful?
Yeah, I think so. And there's also Dogpile.
Dogpile's a search engine, but then
Yeah, oh, true. Yeah, these are browsers.
Yes, no, we're not going to Ask Jeeves territory or anything. And finally, some more Kid Leroy news today.
Cut out a piece of me and now I bleed internally left without.
There are some reports from inside the music industry that are saying that Kid Leroy's mum is actually kind of stopping him from getting bigger than he is currently.
What do you mean?
Well, some people are saying that these are people who have worked in the music industry alongside the Kid Leroy and his mum. They're saying that she's actually quite tough to work with. She has very high demands, and he's been through so many managers and lawyers because of her and what she's demanding of them. And
trying to comb his hair
back.
and stuff while he's trying to do music shoots.
No.
He's on stage going, I'd be effed up if you can be right there. And she goes, language. Barges onto the stage. Save the F word for when you're the man, Leroy. And that's the end of the Ben and Liam podcast.
Liam, your birthday was on Monday.
It was, yes.
And yesterday I got you a birthday present.
Well, yeah, it was $100 Subway voucher.
Yep.
Yes, for the store.
You were very excited post-show. You twisted my arm and you talked me into getting some Subway with you.
Well, that's it. I quite often frequent the Subway restaurants around town, and you're not as wild on it.
Yeah, so the whole reason I got Liam a $100 Subway voucher is because the last couple of weeks I've been learning that Liam, like, if he's on Uber Eats, for example, for dinner, he'll go get Subway. Like, that's his order of choice, which blows my mind.
We've
that
both,
a grown man.
Me and my fiance both like the suburbs, for
That's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why I got Liam the Subway voucher. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but I went with you regardless. Can you tell everybody how the situation went?
To be fair, it was a bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the worst times I've ever had at Subway.
It was absolute schmozzle. It was shambles.
Well, yeah, when we got there, they said, we don't have any bread. And I said, oh.
It's Subway.
I said, Subway. They said, it's still in the machine. It should be another 15. And that's too long to wait. So I said, that's fine. Yep. I'll just have a wrap.
Yep.
And then she said, fresh or toasted? And I said toasted, and she said, the toaster's not working though. So this is, I felt a bit awkward because you were there with me, and I was sort of saying,
staring at you the whole time.
saying, this doesn't usually happen. I swear this never happens. And then it was time to sort of, I think this person, I just want to say, I think it was probably one of their first few shifts at Subway.
I don't know. They normally wear trainee.
You would hope. Look, the workers were very nice, but there was one point they kind of tripped over each other's feet because they never were in sync, were they? They were reaching over each other.
You're being nice because you like Subway. I'll say they were pretty useless. Like,
they sandwich artists, I'll have you know.
You say artists, but I asked for spinach.
Yeah,
and she
literally
loaded it up with lettuce.
As you were saying spinach, she was putting the lettuce on, and I was looking, going, "Ooh, that's the wrong vegetable there." And yeah, she didn't realise until the other stuff was on. She went, you said spinach, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then she tried to start picking around it, and you said, no,
just leave
it. Just leave it, that's fine. And then we finally got to the end of the line, And then I got my $100 Subway voucher out, and they said, "Oh, where's the QR code?" And I said, "I don't know. Can't you just put that code in there that it's it's clearly I've spent $100 here."
Yep.
And she said, "No, you're going to need to get the QR code." So then I had to download the Subway app, and then I couldn't find it, and then we were there for like 10 minutes, and then I ended up just paying for it, and then she gave me the receipt, which I still have in my pocket actually, for $26 for 2 wraps because I bought yours as well. I ended up buying you Subway because I was so embarrassed, and she said, "Oh, you can call the Home Office and they'll sort this out." So I'm not, after about like a 20-minute schmozzle, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to call the Subway Home Office to try and claim my $26.45 for 2 wraps. But you got to admit though, pretty tasty wrap, right?
It was okay.
Pretty tasty.
It was just okay.
Well priced and tasty, and you eat fresh. It's good.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.